We are here to discuss the double header we had today, with the first match being between Mumbai Indians and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Comprehensive victory for Mumbai Indians. And the second match of the day, Chennai Super Kings versus Kings 11 Punjab. Easy 10-wicket victory for Chennai Super Kings. We'll start with the first match. Dominic, who do you have as a hit from the first match?
I think after a few poor performances, Quinton de Kock finally got going. I think that made a big difference because in Sharjah, teams have found it hard to defend total. So you need your openers to actually really play well. And Quinton de Kock did exactly that. He got it accelerating, especially after Rohit Sharma couldn't, he missed out on an opportunity. Then Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav were pretty slow considering the number of runs scored in Sharjah. And Quinton de Kock with a 39 ball, 67, he made the difference at the top of the order. So that made a huge difference as Mumbai went past the 200 mark. And they won pretty convincingly in the end, which has not happened before in Sharjah. This was a big margin, 34 runs, considering the wicket in Sharjah. So Quinton de Kock's knock up top was very important. And I think that, set up the base for Mumbai to work on it and then make a good total. So Ashwin, who do you think was the hit of the day?
Dominic, I'm going with Mumbai fast bowler James Pattinson because he has been extremely consistent this season. This is his third 2-4 of the tournament, and he has also been very economical. Today he was 2 for 29, and he's also had 2 for 28 and 2 for 25 in the previous match. And apart from that, huge run feast against RCB, he's been very economical. The thing that stands out about Pattinson is that he has evolved as a bowler and as a cricketer, because if you remember him at the start of his career, he was an out-and-out fast bowler. Now, cut into 2020, all these years later, he has changed from just being a one-dimensional, go hard and bowl fast sort of a pacer to a more skilled pacer. And by that I mean he has slower balls, back of the hand slower balls, and the bouncers, slow bouncers, all the things that you need to survive and do well in T20 cricket. So for me, James Pattinson has been a real revelation. He still has that huge muscular fast bowler's body, but it's not just about raw pace for him anymore. So he is my hit of the first match. Who do you have? Yeah, go ahead.
He's stepping up well for Malinga as well. So
yeah, ideal replacement. Actually, there was a worry there when Malinga wasn't available this season. I mean, it was a problem because Malinga was such a key bowler for them. But I think Pattinson has filled the gap very well. Let's move on to the miss, Dominic. Who do you have as a miss?
I think Bairstow, considering he has the highest average in the entire IPL, some 50 plus average, for the last few matches, he's not despite scoring 15 of 25 or 15, I think he's not giving the ideal start for Sunrisers. Considering Sharjah, again, I'm telling you, because the batsmen had to step up in Sharjah. Other wickets, spinners or the pacers had to step up. Especially in Sharjah, you need the sixes to, post a big total or chase a total. So I think Bairstow should have stayed on because last game it was Warner. Warner did the damage. This game, I think Bairstow should have, assisted should have anchored the innings and assisted other batsmen in their attempt to score big. So maybe because he got out, scoring only 20, I think that puts a lot of pressure on the other batsmen. Pandey is again, his form is a tricky situation now again. So other batsmen following him had a tough task ahead of them. I think Bairstow, for the quality he has to, even his dismissal was, in all the games, it was, I don't think should have got dismissed in such a way. So I think Bairstow is still away from that big knock, like last IPL. So my miss would be Bairstow.
Yeah. I'm going with SRH fast bowler Siddharth Kaul, especially his very, very expensive death over. The surprising thing here is he started the over well with a Yorker to get Hardik Pandya out. And you would think that if you're a death bowler bowling the 20th over, you would expect a bowler to bowl all 6 Yorkers. But that wasn't the case. He started well, and then he just lost his length completely, bowling length balls to Krunal Pandya, who hammered him for 2 sixes and 2 fours, and conceded 21 runs in that last over. And you could say that that made the difference between victory and defeat, because what could have been a manageable target for SRH suddenly turned out to be a huge target, and they couldn't get it. Again and again, we harp on this point, Dominic. If you are a death bowler, bowling length or over pitched is just unpardonable. I think anybody will know this by now. So yeah, I'm sure he wanted to execute, but wanting to execute and actually doing it are two different things altogether. Look at his figures, Dominic. 4 overs, 62. I mean, that's just not happening. I mean, that can cost you the match right there, which is what happened. So something to think about for SRH and Siddharth Kaul. Dominic, let's move on to the second match of the day. That is CSK and Kings 11 Punjab. Unbelievable 10-wicket win for CSK. They're back to winning ways. Who do you have as a hit?
I think the Daddy's army is back finally. Should be obvious. Shane Watson, he's repaying his captain's faith yet again. Even I was, skeptical of him playing this game. This was, one of his best knocks, because Kings 11 does have a quality bowling lineup. All of his shots were from the middle of the bat. He looked confident. Everyone were criticizing Dhoni for not dropping him and Jadhav. So this was a big innings for him. 10 wickets and opening partnership with an in-form du Plessis. And this may be the sign of better things to come. You never know. So Shane Watson is my hit of the day, considering it was a 10-wicket win and he was out of form.
I'm going with Shardul Thakur, especially for his 18th over, where he got 2 crucial wickets of Nicholas Pooran and KL Rahul. Both Nicholas Pooran and KL Rahul were looking to open up, so he got them at exactly the right time for CSK. Of course, you can put the Nicholas Pooran down to a superbly well-judged catch by Jadeja in the deep. I mean, that went miles up, and we know how tough it is to take catches, especially in this IPL with the lighting being right in your face. So, exactly. But the second one, Rahul, especially with that slower ball getting the edge, that was also extremely crucial because right about then was when Rahul was trying to get the quick runs, and we know that once he's settled and when he starts going for the shots, he can be very destructive. If you look at that 18th over, I think it changed the course of the match, because if he hadn't taken those 2 wickets and Rahul and Pooran had got some big hits in, CSK could have been chasing 200 odd, if not more. So I think his 18th over made a huge difference. Dominic, my miss is the Kings 11 Punjab team management, and by that I mean their selection. Now, if you look at it, they have a quality spinner in Mujibur Rahman, who's not been playing. And I think given that Kings 11 Punjab have a lot of problems with their bowling, it is high time that he gets a look in. I know that he's a foreigner, so they might have to drop Chris Jordan to accommodate Mujibur Rahman in the foreigner category. But I think it is now high time that he plays, because we're looking at a quality spinner, and Mujibur Rahman has just come off a fantastic CPL. He has been among the wickets and he hasn't conceded many runs at all. It is. I don't understand why they haven't played him so far. So that is something that they need to look at.
So what I think is the miss for Kings 11 Punjab today was promoting Mandeep Singh to number 3. After a wicket, Mayank and Rahul have been playing extremely well this season. All their partnerships have been amazing. The main reason for that is Mayank plays the aggressor initially, and then Rahul joins the party. So Rahul starts off pretty slow, and then he goes for the kill. So that's been the thing for Kings 11 Punjab the entire tournament. So Mayank Agarwal, after he was dismissed, they need another. He was dismissed quite early, considering the number of partnerships they put together. So considering that, they need an aggressor up front, say a Maxwell, or if you want to maintain a left-right combination, bring in Puraan. But bringing in Mandeep Singh, who's another anchor, that didn't help their cause. In the middle overs, they didn't score those many runs. Yes, Rahul did hit a few boundaries and the sixes after he was some 40, but that's been his role. Till 40, he plays pretty slow and then he gets it going. You need to have an aggressor at the other end so that they keep the the run rate going up. You can't have a stagnant point at a game like this because both teams had 3 losses and 1 win, so they had to win it somehow. You can't have a stagnant point during a period like that. And I think that killed the game for Kings 11 Punjab. They could have scored more. Uh, 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 Glenn Maxwell or Nicholas Puraan. So I think that was a big for Kings 11 Punjab.
Dominic, next we're looking forward to Monday's match, which is between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Delhi Capitals. In terms of an interesting subplot, contest within a contest, who do you have?
I think definitely should be Devdutt Padikkal. He's been amazing entire tournament. 350s in 4 games. I think that's set up the foundation for Royal Challengers Bangalore this entire IPL, and is now facing one of the greatest bowling attacks in the IPL. With Rabada and Nortje opening the bowling, the new ball, I think it's going to be challenging for the young opener. He's been amazing in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, in the IPL now. So that's going to be really challenging. With Rabada's pace and Nortje's variations, I think it's going to be really difficult for him up top. So I think Finch should, give him some advice on how to face Rabada and Nortje. Not only that, he's faced tough situations before, so this will be really interesting to see how he tackles Rabada and Nortje. So I think him facing the opening bowler is going to be a real interesting contest in this contest.
No doubt. I am looking forward to seeing how Washington Sundar fares against the Delhi openers. Simply because if you look at Washington Sundar's economy rate in this IPL, it has been absolutely unbelievably good. He has a tournament economy rate of 4.72, which is out of the world. So let us see how he goes against the Delhi openers, because we are assuming that Sundar is going to open the bowling. Delhi openers Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan. Now, both are pretty attacking, especially Prithvi Shaw. So, will Sundar be able to keep this good economy rate going? I'm very interested to see what happens, because I don't think that Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw will play him out safely. I think they will go for it. Prithvi Shaw in particular, you know what happens when he gets down on one knee and swings through mid-wicket when it comes to spinners. We have seen him hit the ball in Ranji Trophy matches out of the stadium. So I don't see him holding back. But if Sundar can keep the runs down, I think he might win the match for RCB right there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes.